Hey guys, and welcome to the new video for PS5. Today I'll be showcasing the game Sifu. Sifu is a new installment from Slowcap game developers. It's based on Pak Mei Kung Fu. It's a beat 'em up game, a story of a child that is out for revenge and is hunting his father's killer, and you basically go from different levels of stages, and each stage has different boss or leaders. So I'll be just reviewing the whole movements of the martial arts fighting style on this one. This is pretty much my first gameplay that I run through. You basically die on this game, and each time you die, you basically grow old, like a year or two, depends on how many times you die in every stage. Controls are a bit complicated in the beginning, but it's pretty simple. It's just dodge high and low attacks. You time it, and then you can do your counters faster. Light attacks and heavy attacks, and then you can combine in between. And then there's special attacks that you can do, like takedowns, and then like a specific button that you press to do like a specific move, like sweep or push, double palm push, and then like the special focus, like what I just did. And that's the basically like the takedown. Enemies can have weapons in this game. Most of the time depends on the environment. So if it's like a bar type of stuff, uh, and see, this scene is pretty quite interesting because apparently it's been based on the Old Boy movie. Yeah. So as you can see, different enemies coming in between, and it's not like a side-scrolling type of fighting style. It's you can actually move around, and realistically, with fighting multiple groups of people, is it's better for you to just move around and pretty much divide and conquer. And a lot of they did really good job on this one because I believe they also recruited a real martial arts kung fu master, and I believe his name was Benjamin Colussi. He's a native from France. He studied kung fu when he was a kid, and when he was looking for a specific style that would suit his personality and what he was looking for, which he was looking for more the self-defense, combat-oriented type of kung fu. I mean, most of the kung fu are still martial arts, but a lot of the kung fu that we see nowadays that's been shown into, like, especially the classics, are usually like wushu type of kung fu or film kung fu, I would say. You barely see uh, real kung fu that can be really utilized in combat, like empty hand, as kung fu is uh, really derived from weapon arts. Most of their fighting forms are usually done with a weapon, and then of course throughout the years you train your body and then you use it as a weapon. So Pak Mei is a striking style that is based on tiger, leopard, and a crane animal kung fu. It's very fast with very rigid movements, explosive movements that uses the all the joints and the limb as a weapon and as a means to generate power. And so they don't need to uh, be in a distance to kick a person or punch a person. They can fight in like close quarters, like elevators, stairs, as you can see there. Uh, it's a mix of fluid and rapid attacks. Oh yeah, when you die, as you can see here, when you die, you can basically choose a specific skill that you can unlock, or in real world, scenario, it's basically your experience that you learn. Like I love those takedowns right there. Right there is the focus one. Some enemies have there's this thing called, they call it a structure. It's basically their kind of like their armor or defense meter. That if you don't do well and you just basically mash the buttons, like as you can see on the right guy right there, he's like he has an aura. That means that he is overpowered, like he's overconfident in a way, because I tend to mash buttons on this one, but then I regain my focus again, as you can see, and I just evade his attack. So the more you evade their attack, the more you discourage their confidence, and you're able to create an opening, just like what happened there.
The warehouse. I'm getting closer.
Oh yeah, and these are called the shrines, which basically it gives you the ability to go back to your skill tree, and makes you choose what you need to unlock. It varies by age. So if you're younger, you could have like health and better strength to destroy the enemy's defenses. As you get older, you tend to have more experience and damage enemies, but your health is also a little bit deteriorated.
Shame I'll have to throw you back through it.
Yeah, just like any beat 'em up games, they always have like the big guys, the tanks. This guy would say he's more like a wrestler, so I'm trying to avoid his grab. As soon as he grabs, see, he just slams you. Yeah, this one is it's a little bit tricky, especially if you're trying to dodge. See, he got me from there. So basically, just move on, continue. You age like 1 year.
You should have stayed down.
So fight again. So you dodge, you attack him slowly, and then there you go. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's very cool. The way he strikes actually for Pak Mei, it's actually different strikes. Like if they do like rapid strikes, it's not just one type of strike. They actually combine different strikes in maybe like 5 combos, which is quite interesting. So they would chop your throat, punch you in the face, palm your nose, punch you in the ribs, kick your groin in basically 5 motions. That's what you can see from here. Yeah. And of course, you're not limited to weapon. Like, the better you get a weapon, the better your chances of survival. Yeah, so it's pretty cool there. Yeah, because it's not just like the opponents are not just attacking you one by one. They actually surround you, which is very close to like realistic scenarios. And in the combative training, the most important thing, or in martial arts training, is footwork is sometimes underrated for most of the martial arts, and because majority of the martial arts that we see nowadays are usually like one-on-one, sports oriented, and of course you don't see martial artists going in the streets fighting and then taking videos of themselves and stuff. But this game really does embrace that aspect of applying the real world application of an art form. Of course, there's some a little bit fancy stuff that they've shown, but I've seen the motion capture of the master that did the motion capture, and it's legit. Yeah. So here you go, yeah, shrine, and then just choosing between gaining more structure, which is basically breaking the enemy's defense, durability of the weapon, or health. When you do a takedown, you gain health. I believe this is like the classic Chinese mafia drug den that we're on. See, I like that tag. When they fell on their back, then that's it. You know, they won't have any chance of survival in a way. Sweeps is very good because the whole concept of traditional martial arts when they are down is historically when they go to war they have weapons, right? So when an enemy goes down, they have the higher advantage of height. Like they could throw their spear, they have more momentum, and gravity takes, you know, in place. So a lot of traditional martial arts, you don't want to be in the ground at all, and that's what they always say in like combatives and street fight is going to the ground is not really always a good idea, especially if you're surrounded. Because even if you're good at ground fighting, you wouldn't know you're so busy trying to lock the guy or submit the guy, other guy behind you just chuck like a big rock into your head, or like this guy right here is like he has a big pipe. So you know your back head is exposed, which is the most vulnerable, dangerous part of the head that's gonna get hit. And a lot of people and boxers, you know, they become disabled for an accidental hit in the back of the head. That's why a lot of the rules that we see in boxing, sports, combat sports, UFC, they always have like specific rules to avoid those things. Because at the end of the day, they're combat sports, but that's why it's sports. You know, it's not really like combat. Oh, and yeah, that thing is pretty cool. It's you basically use the environment as your weapon, so that's called environmental mastery. Always bring a weapon, always. And a little bit of parkour right there. I like their little, you can choose between to be disrespectful or just be neutral.
I'm going through the door.
No freaking way!
Yeah, that's nice. It's pretty quite interesting how his grip. He's using a reverse grip whenever he uses like a stick or a pipe. And in my experience, it's actually pretty hard to. Not pretty hard. It's possible, but it's. I prefer to use the regular grip on whenever I use like weapons, like a stick or anything, knife. Grip is good because reverse grip is good if you know what you're doing, but generating power is not really in the style that I learned. Maybe in their style, because this is Pak Mei from Fushan, China. That's what the master was saying, the guy who did the motion capture in this. So yeah, but he also did mention that there are some things that he modified to make it look good in a video game. But the strikes here are real. Yeah, those are like real strikes. Like in the martial arts that I learned, we actually do utilize those type of strikes. But that one is unrealistic, I would say. This is realistic, yeah, those kicks and stuff. Yeah. Sweeps, yeah, can be utilized, but you know, the flying kick, yes, side kick, the classic Bruce Lee kick. Yeah, sweeps. You just stay down there. Okay. Yeah, pretty much like the when they're flaming, it's like their power attack. So it's if you can't evade them, the damage would be a little bit higher. See the boss's kick, the one he did. I think he's gonna do it again. That one. It's very similar to capoeira kick. You know, capoeira is a Brazilian martial arts that involves a lot of, I would say, 80% kicks, and the rest are hands and different parts of the body. But most of the kicks are usually like with trickery. Like as you can see, like he went down thinking that he's gonna attack low, but his kick actually went from the bottom going up to the head. So in a real world scenario, if you don't know if the art itself and you're basically just fighting the person, it's very tricky. And it's called Mialua di Compasso. So basically like a hook heel kick that starts from the ground. It's common knockout move for majority of capoeiristas that uses the kick in you know, ring fights or combat sports. Yeah, see, I've utilized the dodging better now, so I'm able to dodge his attacks. Yeah, that one is cool. Counter attack after with light and heavy strikes. Because eventually you get to learn to read the opponent's moves and intention, and you know they basically just shorten the experience for the video game itself. So you basically just press up and down, holding L1 to dodge depending on where the attack is coming from. I like the pretty cool twirling that he does when he picks up the stick. Yeah. Those fancy twirling are actually very useful in terms of development. Yeah, those are not just for fancy stuff. Those are, you can tell how a person is experienced when they're very good at twirling their weapon. It's also their development throughout the training. Yeah, he's getting frustrated. I think I like this one. Yeah, see, I did his eye. I don't think I took him down yet because I wanted to really remove all his health and also practice the dodging better. Yeah, he's going down. Yeah. His kicks are pretty solid actually, this guy. Yeah,
I have spent 8 long years preparing for
that's
this.
pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, and that's it, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the gameplay, and stay tuned on my second one. And has been played on PS5 on 4K quality.